Yo, what is up everyone, Jay here, back again with another Fire Emblem Heroes reaction video to the new Heroes banner that just dropped for Fire Emblem Fates. It has been a hot minute since Fates got something. I think it's been a little bit over a year. The last Fates banner, I believe, was the one with Midori, Rinka, Forest, and Lilith, I think, which was a little over a year ago, I think in April of last year, so we finally get a Fates banner again. And even though Fates is my least favorite Fire Emblem game, I'm happy for the fans of it, because, you know, they have been waiting for a while. And honestly, like, you know, Fates got a lot at the beginning of the game, and it felt really tiring and old because we always get alts of Corrin and Camilla back in those dark times. So the fact that we're actually getting new characters instead of back then when it felt like Corrin and Camilla would just get all the alts or whatever, and Azura too. So, you know, Fates fans definitely, they had the head start at the beginning, and they kind of fell off, so I'm happy for them, if that makes sense. But yeah, here is the banner, and we're going to start off with Charlotte, one of the most awaited characters from Fates, if not the most wanted character from Fates. And she's finally broken out of all hell. It's been over 1,500 days since she was in that bridal costume. She's been stuck in that costume for a long time, and now she's freed in her normal version. So I'm happy for Charlotte fans, even though I'm not a huge fan of Charlotte. But, you know, she's a cutie, I guess. Here she is. She's a really strong unit. If you've played Fate, she has a really high attack stat, and I think she has a pretty decent speed stat. But I'm pretty sure in Fae here, she's really fast compared to Fates. I don't think she was that fast in Fates. Don't quote me on that. I'm not super familiar with Fates, but I didn't play it that much. But at least not as much as other games. But yeah, so here's her kit. Fair Fury Axe. Pretty simple weapon, but really good. So it gives her -1 cooldown. And if she initiates combat or is within 2 spaces of an ally, which is the classic really good condition, deals damage equal to 15% of unit's attack, and then grants more attack and speed +6 to unit during combat. So a really simple weapon, like I said, but really effective for a unit like her who's just going to be nuking people. Getting that true damage, 15% of unit's attack, is going to be really nice. And then also getting more attack and speed on top of it. So she's going to hit like a truck. Like I said, she's always been a strong gal, so this is a very fitting weapon for her. Then she comes with Glimmer, which is going to be probably her best special if you're not going to be using Gale Force, which she's going to be a really nice Gale Force unit, judging by her kit, because she's got -1 cooldown. She comes with Time's Pulse, Swift Sparrow 3, you know, standard stuff. But the Beast skill here is the new thing that's going to catch a lot of people's eye, Frenzy 3. So this is a new damage reduction skill. We may never run out of these. They're probably going to make more eventually. And we finally got a new one. So this one is, you know, just like Spurn, Close Call, Repel, except the difference is this one has Desperation built into it, which sounds like a good idea, but I think it's a little iffy. The reasons being is because if you're going to be reducing damage anyway, how are you going to, like, if you're going to be reducing damage with Frenzy 3 and then also trying to get into the range, it's kind of counterintuitive, you know? So it's a little weird, but it's good for units that want to player phase. Okay, I shouldn't say just player phase units. I mean, I should say units that are dual phase, units that are good in both phases. So I think units like Marita can use Frenzy 3 really well. Young Marth, I guess, can use it pretty well. Carla can use it well. You know, units that are, like I said, good in both phases. So Frenzy 3 is pretty nice. I don't think it's like going to be an absolute pull for unless you really want this skill. If you already have Close Call, Repel, Spurn, like, I'm pretty sure you're set with that, because, like, I mean, Desperation, you can argue, is obviously better than Knockback and Hit and Run most of the time, but even those have their use. They all have their use, but Spurn, I still think, is the best overall, because you can never go wrong with more damage that Spurn has. But like I said, like, Frenzy 3's effect is a little weird, because it's, like, a little counterintuitive. The fact that you're reducing damage that might prevent you from getting into the Desperation range that it has in the first place, so it's like, you gotta watch out for that. But the cool thing is the Desperation threshold is a little more lenient than regular Desperation, above or equal to 50%, so that's nice. So it's just another cool option for the damage reduction fans out there, and damage reduction family of skills, I guess. So Frenzy 3 is pretty nice. I think it's pretty cool. And then she comes with Time's Pulse. So like I said, gonna be a really good Gale Force unit if you opt to go with her that route for Charlotte. And she's gonna be really strong, a really good Axe Infantry unit. And her stats are probably going to be like, I don't know, 40 attack, maybe 40 base speed, 39 speed, decent defense and low res, that's my guess. She might have decent res, who knows. But, you know, nothing too out of the ordinary. with her stats, I guess, from an axe unit like her, an axe chick like Charlotte here. So I'm glad she's in the game, and I'm happy for Charlotte fans because they have been waiting for a long ass time, and she's ready to smash, breaking out of all hell. So congratulations, Charlotte fans. And the next unit is Nyx, Rule Breaker Mage. I think I'm saying her name right. She's the red mage, not a red mage. Well, she's a mage you get in Fates, and she's a red mage in Fae. Makes sense because she's a dark mage. And Nyx was always one of those characters. When I played Fates, I was like, okay, this is a interesting girl, I guess. Like, I didn't really pay attention to her that much. I know there's a lot of Nyx fans, but here she is. So she comes with this tome that is really hard to say. Gnungagap, I guess. I don't know how to say it. I'm not even going to try to attempt to say it because I'm going to butcher it. Probably saying it wrong. But her tome gives her speed +3 at start of combat if unit's HP. So if unit is alive, essentially, she gets attack speed +6 for free. And then if the unit initiates combat or the foe initiates combat and they use magic or staff, she reduces damage from their first attack by 40% and boosts the unit's next attack by the total damage she reduced. And then it resets at the end of combat. So this is a really interesting weapon and interesting PRF because I don't think we really have anything like this. I think the closest thing to it is like negating Fang, I think, if I'm remembering correctly, from Legendary Corrin. So it's like basically, the conditions are kind of strict, but she's going to have really good res anyway, so you don't want her to be tanking like swords or anything like that. So most of the time you want to be tanking magic or staff, so if that happens, then she reduces the damage she takes by 40%, and then the damage that she reduced is added to her total damage. So that's really cool. I think it's a cool weapon for sure, and this tome is not like it was at all in Fates. A lot of the tomes in Fates were like nerfed from Awakening because a lot of Awakening tomes were absolutely busted, and when Fates came out, they were like, okay, we gotta nerf these weapons. So this tome is definitely a lot different than it was in Fates, and if it was just like it was in Fates, it'd suck. So they definitely went a whole different direction with this for the most part. So that's her tome. Nyx's tome is really nice. Then Luna, Speed Res Solo 4. Didn't think they would actually release a Solo 4 for solos that aren't the most popular solos, like Attack Solo, and I guess Defense. They also have Defense Res Solo 4. But we finally have Speed Res Solo 4, which is pretty cool. She comes with that, and Null Follow-Up, which is really nice. So at first I looked at this and I was like, oh, she might be the demote, but then I saw the tier 4, so there's no way she's a demote. She's definitely 5-star locked. Her weapon is definitely really nice. And a pretty good kit overall. It's simple, but it works. So that's Nyx. Cool red mage, I guess. And Nyx fans are definitely really happy. So let's see here, tanking this. So she reduced the 21 damage to 13, and then now she's going to take that damage she took and then give it back to the blue mage. So that is pretty cool. And the next unit is another mage, or should I say scroll user, Mary Diviner Orochi. Orochi is a character that I'm surprised didn't get into Fate earlier. But then I remember hearing about this. I'm not sure if this is really true, but I remember hearing that Orochi is not very popular in Japan. So that's why she probably wasn't added into Fate earlier, because she's a prime like fan servicey character, you know. But they definitely like kind of went tame on her design, I feel like. I don't know. Like Charlotte and Orochi definitely have fan servicey designs. I thought maybe they would have went harder on her, on her art. But I mean, not saying her art's bad or anything, but she is the demote of this banner, another green mage demote. We just had Luthier, and now we have Orochi. And she's really cool because she comes with a Tiger Spirit. We don't have really any scroll users in Fae. I don't think we do. So we get the Tiger Spirit scroll. Grants res +3 at the start of combat if unit's HP is above 25. Grants attack res +6 unit after combat, and then also gets the panic effect. So that's pretty nice. On a demote unit, like especially because this is a solid tome. It's nothing crazy, but it's pretty nice. So it's like basically a better version of Henry's tome, Halloween Henry's tome, Spectral tome. So Orochi could be a good like Aether Raids unit or Aether Raids defense unit for people who want to invest into her, and get the +10. So yeah, Tiger Spirit's pretty solid. Drawback, Mirror Strike 2, and Attack Res Link. So you can obviously tell she's the demote, like I said. So I'm glad to see her in the game as well. It's long overdue. Like I said, I thought she would get into the game a long time ago, but here she is finally. And now the last unit on the banner is actually pretty surprising. It's the God of Ice Nifl, the boss of the current Tempest Trials. She's in the game, and she's actually not a mythic hero, which is really surprising to me and kind of weird because most people expected her to be a mythic hero because, you know, mythical heroes are always gods and, you know, mythical creatures, and Nifl definitely fits that category, but she's not a mythic here, and she's actually going to be in the regular pool. Seems like she's going to be in the regular pool, and she's a cavalry dragon, so here she is, non-mythic. Obviously she's not a mythic because she doesn't have any anima, dark, or anything attached to her, and here she is. So the funny thing is that she's like built like an Aether Raids unit, but she's not. So she's not a mythic, but she definitely has a kit that's going to be really annoying in Aether Raids. If you fought her in the Tempest, she can be really strong. Some of my green units can't even take her. So here she is with Frostbite Breath. I don't think they changed anything from her in the Tempest. Gives her the flat speed +3, and then the start of combat gives her or inflicts -5 to all their stats during combat, and then if after combat she gives the flash status, you know, emulating the icy effect, I guess. And comes with the rally defense res plus, which is really nice, and then ARD attack speed 4. So we're getting tier 4 versions of these Aether Raid skills, which is really scary because if you ever fought a cav line with the ARD skills, they can be really annoying. So the fact there's a 4th version now, you know, that's one more thing to worry about, but it's also one less thing to worry about because she's not a mythic. So you don't have to worry about sparking for her, you don't have to worry about keeping up with the Aether Raids meta, you know, you don't have to worry about her adding some crazy effect to, you know, like an extra slot or something. She's just going to be there as a normal unit, like any other normal pool unit. Obviously she's still going to be a threat. Just because she's not a mythic, doesn't mean she's not going to be a threat. But I'm kind of glad she isn't a mythic, so people don't have to really worry about pulling for her and stuff, and people that want a +10 don't have to share colors all the time, so that's pretty cool. She comes with low attack speed and Domain of Ice. This skill wasn't in the Tempest Trials, and this is a really good skill. So grants speed res +4, and then the effect reduces damage of foes first attack by 30%. So she gives damage reduction and speed res +4 to allies within 2 spaces. And then if she's within 2 spaces again, she gets more speed and rest to herself, and then yeah, so basically gets the same as what she gives her allies. So Domain of Ice is a really good skill. I can imagine this is going to be really annoying with a unit like Flame. Imagine like a, I don't know, an armor ball with like this skill and then Flame attached to it. You're just going to have so much damage reduction, it's going to be insane. And unlike Flame, she actually gives stats with stats on top too. So Domain of Ice is a really pretty good skill for sure. It's just weird to see her not as a mythic because she's literally a god. She's literally the god of ice, but intelligence system said, nah, you're just going to be a regular unit. Her wolf model or whatever looks really cool. So that is Nifl. That's pretty cool. I'm glad, like I said, kind of glad she's not a mythic. So that is the banner pretty much, except we got one more unit that's going to be added into the pool, just like we've had with previous units, and it's Benny, the gentle giant. I think he's a gentle giant. He's one of those kind of characters. So it's good to see him. And then also we have this lady on a cav. It's Arete, or Arete, I don't know how to say her name, from Fates. Lady Arete. I'm just going to say Arete. I think that's her name is. I'm not really too familiar with her. All I know is she's Azura's mom. So that's Arete. That's pretty much what you got to know about her. Except she also has, as you can see, she's a red mage. But I think her tome isn't something crazy. I think it's like, I don't think that's a PRF tome. I don't know. I could be wrong. I know some of you probably already know what the tome is, but I've heard it's not a PRF tome, so I don't know. But I hope she's decent, and at least has decent fodder. She's not going to have her PRF. It's kind of sad that you're not going to give this character a PRF tome, but, you know, it's Intelligent Systems. They're really stingy with free units, but I guess we'll have to see what her stats are like, I guess, and what she has. So that is the Fates banner, guys. Let me know what you guys think if you do comment. I think this banner is pretty nice. I don't think anyone really here on the banner is super like overpowered. I think definitely Nifl's the best unit on this banner. Next is definitely Charlotte and Nyx, and then Orochi. And Benny, I guess, is going to be like a better version of Valbar pretty much when it comes to Lance Armors. Maybe he'll have low res, but definitely going to have high attack, high defense for sure. And that's going to be a cool merge project for people who like Benny. So, yeah, I mean, overall, I think this Fates banner is solid. It's nothing crazy, like I said, but I'm more so happy that Fates has finally got something that is nice for the fans, because this is a W for most Fates fans. Like, 4 of these characters have been the most wanted characters for a long time. I think the only other character that was really also wanted at the same level was Mozu, the villager. She'll get in eventually. She'll get her own time, but this is good because, like I said, if Charlotte fans didn't get Charlotte here, it would have been riots in the streets. And if there was like some other Corrin or Camilla, but like I said earlier in the video, they don't do that anymore. Thankfully, those were dark times where Fates just seemed to always get banners and alts, but there would always be Corrin, Azura, and Camilla alts. So the fact we're actually finally getting more Fates characters is nice, and we haven't even gotten any of the Fates kids really. Still don't have Karagi. We still don't have Dwyer. Dwyer's another popular character that people want. We don't have Matama. There's a lot of Fates kids we don't have yet. Percy. So Fate still has a lot to give. It's just it's gone slow because they were milking Corrin and Camilla and Azura for the longest time. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the banner. Hope you guys enjoy. I apologize if I seem tired. I just came back from vacation recently. And I'm really glad that this banner dropped when I came back home and not while I was on vacation, or else I wouldn't be able to make a video. So I'm really thankful for that. But yeah, that is my video, guys. Like I said, let me know what you guys think. And please stay safe out there. Good luck if you do summon this banner, and peace out.